So
Sorry,
pal. Good luck with the fitness program.
Well, he's not with me anymore. He graduated. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well,
But,
congrats. Do you give out diplomas?
No, I don't, but I should.
I think you should.
You know what?
In crayon.
I send
I'm
out.
kidding.
Hey, what's up, guys? It is your boy Smalls back on another edition of The Vault. We're here in studio once again, here in The Vault Studios. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. Bring in Benny first. Benny, how's it going, sir?
I'm great, man. I'm happy to be back in the Stooge.
The Stooge.
Always,
Stooge.
always love. I love the show
Yeah.
no matter what capacity we're doing it. But being in studio and especially with what we got in store today on multiple sides, super pumped.
Yeah,
super
absolutely.
Ready to go.
We're going to bring in our guest. He was here for the first episode last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dan was our first guest in season 1.
yeah, he
as
was.
well.
Was he?
Yeah.
You were. Yeah,
He
you
was.
were the. Yeah, you
First
were the
ever
first.
guest.
You were the first ever guest
Was
of
in our
Vault.
debut of season 2 last year, and now
Yep.
well, okay, not debut, but our first guest of
Yep,
season
our-
3 as
yep.
well.
Yep, exactly. So, he's the prodigal son of fitness, which is how we introduced him last year. He's a big Hinge enthusiast. He's the founder of a juggernaut personal training business. Please welcome friend and sponsor of the show, Mr. William Marshall. Will Marshall, how's it going?
Thank you. Oh, dude, it's going great. It's going really, really great, actually. Now that I'm here in the Stooge, like you said.
In the Stooge.
Yeah.
In the Stooge. Hey, quick question. What is that?
What? Oh, standing. That right there?
Mm-hmm.
Standing mat. This is a standing desk. So when I work, when I work,
That thing looks intense.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I got it for a Christmas gift. It's kind of nice
This
though.
looks nice.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
like
I-
you kind of like
roll out your
massage
feet on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
roll
that's
out your
pretty
feet and
sick,
shit.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Will, how's it
Sorry.
going, man? How you been?
Dude, I've been good. A lot. It's funny because I think about this podcast often in the sense of like, because I'm on in a way that's so periodic that there's a lot that changes like every time I'm on.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
because I mean,
yeah, yeah.
and I didn't even realize that I was. Maybe I knew it at the time, but I
Yeah.
didn't realize I was the first guest.
You were the first guest.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
First of all,
And actually, I remember. So whenever we did it the first time around, we had other guests kind of in the chamber already, and I was like, nah, I want to get Will on as like the first guy.
dude. Well, I mean, something needs to be said about the longevity of this because that's 2 years now. Like
Yeah.
2 years ago, that
Yep.
2 years,
that
3
first
seasons.
episode,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
so
rolling.
hey, dude, hats off to you guys because I mean,
Well, thank you, and same to you. You've been a sponsor of a show that's
Yeah.
been on for
Yeah.
3 seasons. So.
I mean, it's that's sick because that's the thing, and I think about this is another thing too with just anything that you start, like other people quit, and so all you really have to do is outlast everybody else, when it comes down to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And so I mean, you guys
Yeah,
are
100%.
still kicking it.
Yeah.
And I
This
mean,
is like-
look at all the different shit now. Like I mean,
I know.
it looks so
Yeah.
different in here than it did the last time.
this
I
is
know.
probably the only thing that like anyone could ever say I've had like durability in.
Same.
So,
Yeah. No, really.
you
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
we've really been cooking with this thing, man. I mean,
Yeah.
3 like I know that like Smalls kind of just like took season 3 and was like, hey, whether you like it or not,
Yeah. I didn't
We're
really
doing this
ask
thing
Derek
back
if
on,
we're.
but, like,
Yeah.
Back at it.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
Even just in a commitment level sense, like being able to do this for 3 seasons is dope. Like that we've been able to make this last, and for, I think by the end of this year, like we're gonna have like 75 potentially plus episodes total when
Yep.
it's all said and done. Like that's crazy.
It's a library.
dude. So
Yeah.
Um,
We definitely have a library, and I think we're gonna try doing different things this year too. Which I got a proposition for you at
right.
some point. Not so much proposition. I want to get you involved in some more content.
Oh,
as
yeah?
Well.
yeah,
So,
still more in
Yeah.
a pot that we're whipping up.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
I've actually got an idea too, and I just thought of it just now.
Okay.
But like
Okay.
it feeds into what I have to say. But yeah, there's so much stuff that's changed in terms of like what my what's on the docket for me, I guess.
Okay,
you could say.
yeah.
So
Let's get into it.
I guess I should start with the Riverhounds, right? So like
Yes.
I mean we know. I mean, whatever episode that was, like you guys were on the field, that was sick. Like that was so sick. That was cool. And,
That was really cool being able to put that, and especially like because we were able to get so much camera time with you, which especially like I knew like we were gonna get some, but for you being able to get away for a bit before the game, and we got you after. Like,
Yep.
like we saw Will Marshall before a game, and then after a win. Like it
Yep.
was like that was just a really cool experience because to me, like we've never had, I guess is accessibility a word? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Accessibility.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
What did I
Yeah.
say?
Accessibility.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever that word is, to be able to have that with a coach, especially on that high of a level, like because technically, you guys see 2 coaches every week, but being able to do it with someone who is a coach for the Riverhounds and being able to get that inside access and be able to have the relationship with you, like obviously as friends, but let alone now is partners with what we've been able to develop with the show, was like awesome. To be able to have that experience like on a friendship level and a professional level for both parties was sick, dude.
Yeah. Well, so that's the update. Is so I've left the Riverhounds actually.
100%.
Not yet, but I will have left 100% as of February 28th.
Okay.
And so, but listen, like it
Okay.
all shakes down in a way that it's a positive for me. And so basically what happened was I got to around mid-season this year in the summertime, and I realized that like it was a lot to handle, like the academy and then traveling and then running my business. Because I mean, thinking about this too is like the last time I was here, I think I had 13 clients. Like as of today, I have 24, and I could add 3 more by next week if all things go well.
Yeah.
And I was having conversations with our other assistant he's like 10 years older than me, and like, we were roommates, we shared an office, and like, someone that I one of my boys at this point, and we were talking about different things, and like I've never been to Europe, and like he was saying that, he was like, you got to go, you got to do it, you got to do it now. And so that leads me into my next thing here is I'm going to Europe for 3 months in March. I leave
awesome.
March 20th. I have a one-way flight. I have an Airbnb in Porto, Portugal for 30 days.
Okay.
And so basically when I started the business, with with it being focused online, it's like I remember being in my room during the pandemic and like, researching how can I do this and how can I make it something to where I can be anywhere and, do whatever I want, but still be able to run and like have an income and all that stuff. And so I didn't think it would happen this fast, but I got to the point in the summer where I was like, I could definitely, kind of do something like that.
Yeah.
And so September came around and I knew I was on my way. I knew I was going to go, but I was going to finish the season, and I booked that flight in September to go to Portugal. And so that is like, what I'm preparing for at this point now, kind of making sure that everything is set up for that. And so I'm still with the academy at this current point in time, but so they hired my replacement a couple months ago, John Bush. You know who John Bush is?
I personally do not.
So I thought, because you're a Hunter Gilstrap fan, I thought you'd know,
I know
John Bush for sure.
know.
That's okay. So you're you know who he is. You probably just don't realize like when I say the name.
Maybe. Yeah.
John Bush, and he might see this, he might not. I've grown to like we've become fairly close at this point. I mean, within reason, as long as I've known him, because I'm kind of like I'm helping him transition into the role.
Right.
Guy's a legend. I mean, he was MLS goalkeeper of the year in 2008. He played like I want to say 10 years in the MLS. Like he has a national team appearance.
Wait, who was he with?
He was with
MLS at that point.
I think he was at that point might have been Columbus. I know he played for San Jose.
Okay, because if he played for Columbus, then I definitely know who he is.
He's
I'm just
also
stumping on the
he's
name.
also he's my height.
Okay.
Which is
Really?
Yes, he's like
No, sorry, that came across.
No,
as,
no, 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 I
like
get
as
it, but
a
I get
keeper,
it.
as a
And-
professional
like,
keeper,
hey,
yeah.
But that's the thing is like
Small guy.
I when I was like starting out playing the position, like I used to like not on purpose, but like I'd watch highlight videos and he was always in it, and I'm just like I know that guy's not tall, and so like he was kind of like a, in a sense, like I looked up to shorter goalkeepers.
Yeah, right.
And I always knew who he was, and so Bob, the head coach of the Hounds, like John Bush played for Bob in Hershey back in like 2002 or something.
Yeah.
And I always knew, like, Bob would talk about him and whatever, but I never thought I'd get to meet him. And so now, like, I talked to him today. Like, it's crazy who he is and who he was, like, when I was, like, 13. And now, like, I know the guy. And that's crazy. And so he took over as the first team goalkeeper coach, and then he will eventually take over as the director of goalkeeping as well.
Awesome.
And, so I've been helping him kind of transition and stuff. And so, like, I'm, like, full-time, Marshall Fitness at this point. And so it's kind of like it's a nervy thing to do, when you're really when you're doubling down on your own stuff.
I'm sure.
And
Yeah.
It's like, there's times and like where I'm like, I gotta, I'm very motivated by like anxiety. And so I'm like, when things are, if someone, decides not to renew, like I'm like, all right, I got to get myself going again. And so now I have a marketer that I work with now, digital marketer. He's the one that created this new logo. And, so I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. And another thing that happened is pretty recently is now I coach at Pitt. For the time being.
Really?
Yeah.
So I've seen you in the weight room a lot at Pitt.
That's why, yeah.
So like that's kind of dope.
Yeah, and so there was kind of
congrats.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So that is like kind of a whole other thing. But so the goalkeeper coach at Pitt, who is my coach, his wife is a volleyball coach, and she got hired at Oregon State as the head coach. And so he, went with his family out to Oregon State. And so, the spring was starting and they didn't have anyone to work with the goalkeepers. And so Jay, the head coach, I played for him as well. Like he, called me and he was like, "Hey, would you, want to come help us out for the spring?" And so he knows I'm going. But yeah, I've been there every day. We didn't have training today because of the snow. But it's been sweet being back there.
That's
because
sick.
it's like it feels very. Not that the Riverhounds didn't feel like home to me because I was there for 7-8 years, but. I mean, Pitt was like, I was there for 4 years. I mean, I was in that weight room. That weight room is where I discovered all this.
Right.
So it's like now I'm in there all the time. Then people know who I am.
Right.
Because it's like, I guess before I showed up, Bohonic, who is the goalkeeper coach, I think he told people, he was like, yeah, like new guy coming in, he loves the weight room. And so then I go in and like the guys that are like I don't think they call them interns anymore, like fellows in the weight room. They were like, oh, this guy, and they saw me deadlift, and they're like, oh, we know who you are. And I'm like, yeah, that's so sweet. Like it's nice wearing the script and everything, or the new shield. It's awesome.
That's sick. They have some sick gear.
The gear's crazy now. Dude.
Yeah, Pitt soccer. Well, first of all, the program is like top notch. Yeah.
Yeah. You tell them they need somebody who doesn't know what they're doing on their coaching staff. I'm available.
Listen, it's crazy to think like when I was a freshman, we went 2-15. So that was like that was 2014.
Yeah.
And they've been to 2 Final Fours in 3 years.
Yep.
And they were ranked number 1 at one point.
Yeah, I know.
In a matter of like 6 years.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, that's like, to speak to Jay Vidovich's like pedigree of coaching, like he flipped the program on its head in a matter of like 4 years.
Yeah, I remember seeing like out of nowhere Pitt soccer was like top of the nation. Yeah. Like very, very, very competitive.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing with like, the ACC being what it is. It was like Pitt was always kind of it was referred when the coaching change happened, it was like their sleeping giant. Like the resources are there for a team to be what they are now.
Yep.
And when he came in, like I mean that first season we didn't win that first season, which is the first year. You can't expect things to turn around in 1 year, but like I never had a doubt just the way that our day-to-day changed and like where things were going and how we changed everything with like the discipline and the culture and the habits and all that. I mean, it was only a matter of time to when they were going to start winning. And now it's like they're established. And, with Pitt soccer, and then you talk about the Riverhounds, how well they've done in the past however many years with, with Bob. It's like soccer looks different in Pittsburgh than it did when we were growing up.
Oh, 100%. It definitely does. Like even Pitt's facility now, like that complex, like just the field is crazy.
Yeah, that and they're building a new building right now for not for soccer, but I mean like the weight room will move into this new building that's going to be on the lawn in between the Pete and like some of the dorms. And I walked over there the other day because I had to go to the Life Seals office, which is in the Pete, and they've got the whole thing ripped up, and it's crazy. Like I've seen like the mock-up of what that building's going to be. And it's insane that there's going to be that size of a building fitting in that space. Yeah. But it's like, track is getting their own facility and like gymnastics and stuff. And they've been in the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, which is an old building.
Yep.
But I mean, there's some like track, for example, like you have to walk along the track to get to the weight room and like while they're having training. And so you'll see like a sprinter flying around the corner. Yeah. And you're like, gotta get out of the way. And so now they're going to have their own place. And like, it's only going to increase like, that level of resources. Like when I was there, I was like, how can this get any better? Yep. And then they made it better. And now they're continuing to make it better. And it's just like, there's no ceiling for it.
Right.
You can just keep going, and it's just wild.
Yeah. Going off of that, can you get us any Pitt soccer swag? You don't have to. You don't. I'm not gonna hold you to that. But
for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
I got a lot of that.
Not gonna say no to that. So going off of that, did you come watch me and Ben coach at Highmark?
You know what? No, I didn't. And here's the thing: is I was going to, because you know where I was that day. I was at McFadden's because that was a Steelers Sunday.
It was on a Saturday though.
No.
Yeah, it was a Saturday at 3:30
Well, I was over
p.m.
there. No. I was over there. Oh no, what I know what it was. There was a Pitt football game, and I was tailgating.
I mean, I guess
No, because
listen.
you know what I did is like this was my move, and I still do this. Is like I park at Highmark because I have a parking pass,
Yeah.
and then I walk to the north side.
I mean, listen, that's smart. That you're not gonna skirt past the fact that you didn't.
Well, look.
Listen. We came to see you work,
I know.
and we get to the pinnacle of our high school soccer coaching
Listen.
career in Western PA. You didn't even come to your own stomping grounds,
I-
which is I know where you live too, and it's not far.
It's not. But here's the thing: is like in my head, I knew you guys were playing that game. I didn't know what time it was. To be fair, I knew there were games all day long, and I remember parking in the morning, and then I walked over, and then I think from the tailgate I went to McFadden's, and then I walked back to get my car, and I was just like, I gotta go home. Like it was a long day, and I think it might have been like halftime or something before like by the time I got over there, but. I wanted to say this is the picture of you guys walking across the field is fucking sweet. Like you got to get that framed up here or something.
Pretty hard
Yeah,
pick.
yeah,
it's a
it is
tough
kind of
pick.
yeah.
The only thing that makes it difficult is because of like most of them were like those pictures were taken on a phone, so like the definition quality isn't like the best, but like
There are a few of us that we have
the look
like
of them
yeah.
are sick though.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, well,
just
We had a dad who was a photographer for the team.
Yeah.
He got some sick shots of, I mean, not just us, but like the team. Like
yeah.
I think he had to have taken like 300 pictures or
Yeah.
something.
I mean, I'm
and
sure
they all turned out cool like those
Yeah.
ones. But
the crowd had to be pretty sweet, right? I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah,
A lot of
best
people
yeah.
showed out.
we've definitely ever had because you know how crowds are for high school soccer. Like it's majority of parents and
Parents,
stuff. But that
yeah.
was the first time that we had like people that weren't just Ambridge parents
Mm-hmm.
in the stands and stuff, which was cool. And obviously, like I know, like for you with Pitt and the Riverhounds, like being on fields like that probably becomes second nature to a point. But for us, that's something
Yeah.
that we've never experienced. So being able to have that opportunity was
Yeah.
Dude, that's
sick.
that's the one thing that I think is the hardest part about leaving that
Yep.
situation because, I mean, it's like there's aspects of it that are that wear on you. You know, like the travel wears on you, and
I'm
it's
sure.
like
Yeah.
getting up and going to the airport at 6 a.m. and all that stuff it gets hard. But then, like I mean, talking about that game you guys were at, like that win, like those wins were like it's that 90 minutes is
Yep.
stressful and exhausting, but the win in front of the home crowd, dude, you
makes
can't
it all worth it.
you
for
can't
sure,
beat
yeah.
that. And like that is something that I got so I mean I loved the wins. You know, like there was the I mean I don't know what I can't remember exactly who we played that game, but it wasn't I don't think it was Miami, but I know we beat Miami at like 4-0 at home that year, and that was like that was a good time.
Yep.
And then like you talk about the playoffs and like going to Birmingham and like scoring a late goal to tie it and then going down in extra time and then scoring again to tie it
Yep.
and then winning in penalties because our goalkeeper saved 2. And the crazy part about that is like, so we had 2 goalkeeper coaches. Like I'm sure you guys knew, like the other one was a guy that was at Pitt, and like
Yep.
I'm on the bench in Birmingham and he texted me like the scout of the penalties of who was still on the field.
Really?
And so I gave that to Jamali, our keeper, and he saved
Who's
2.
an animal, by the way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's I mean, he's got I'm
Has he made any appearances for the Jamaican national team? Or
think
I feel like he's gotten called up.
he
or,
played against
like-
Cameroon. And,
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
it
He
was
got a
late-
call up at some point.
He was. I think it was. I don't know if that was during the season or after the season, but I know he played that full game. I'm pretty sure. But I mean, he saved the 2 pens that we gave him. Like it was
Yeah.
dead on
Mhm.
right. And like I remember he turned around, he pointed over the bench, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's sick. That's a
Yep.
sick moment. And like
Yeah.
that win in Birmingham, because like. With Birmingham the year before, like we didn't get to go play them
Yep.
in the playoffs, and that just felt like something that, was like redemption.
Yeah.
And then going to Louisville, and like that game was also unfortunate the way that shook down. But I
Yep.
mean, that's just like those games, those big games are like it is addicting.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
It's that's the part of it that's like the high.
Well, yeah, even at the high school level, I think after our first win, I turned to Ben. I was like, damn it, I think I'm hooked. I'm an assistant coach. I think I'm hooked.
And
Like-
and it's to feel it as a coach.
oh, it's way different.
It is.
Yeah,
it
it's way-
is, and it's almost it's like it's frustrating when you lose because like you know, you almost want to be out there because you
Yep.
know what you could have changed and like maybe you could have affected it.
Yep.
But when things go well, when you're on the sidelines,
Yep.
like that's when it's like, all right, like
Yep.
you know, the preparation worked and all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's a different thing.
Yeah.
But it still feels the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I mean, I guess you might have already taken the wind out of my sails on this question. Fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, marry, kill. Soccer, fitness, or Tequila Cowboy? Because I know you love Tequila Cowboy.
All right, so wow, that's a tough one. Honestly, I'm probably killing Tequila Cowboy, to be honest with you.
That's
Because
probably the
Yeah,
right
I think
decision.
that's
I'm
the
not
right one.
surprised.
I
I'm
mean,
not
it's-
surprised.
TC, I have a love-hate relationship with because I've had some good times. I was just there for my sister turned 20.
Oh, I know.
2
I
weeks
saw it
ago.
on your story. That's why I asked.
Listen,
Yeah.
I fell so
And I felt I ran into you at Tequila Cowboy.
Oh, that's right. That was
and
the
we went to the casino.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, at that last weekend at TC, I mean, I had a great time. I didn't get like belligerent, but I did fall, and like I've been very like transparent about this because it's hilarious. But like, you know, in the '90s room, they've got the DJ stand, and
I
it's
know.
like you
I
go up
saw you.
above.
I knew where you were.
You know where I was.
Yeah, I know-
That's
I know
exactly
you
where I
were
was,
sitting,
right?
yeah.
And so I'm like, it's the end of the night. They got the lights on, which is the worst part of it because I felt in a well-lit room. And I'm stepping down from the thing, and the first thought I had was like, don't fall. And the next step I took, like the shoes, like I saw my boots at eye level, and then I was just face
you
down on
knew.
the floor.
Banana peels already made it to
Dude,
Mark.
it's
yeah.
unbelievable how it was like ice, and I hit the ground, and then I fell in the group of people that I was there with, and everyone was like, it was so embarrassing. I got up right away, and I looked around like it wasn't me, and I just ran away, and I disappeared into the crowd.
Benny, do you have any other questions for Willie?
No,
I got
I
one more.
guess just kind of, well, it'll essentially probably tell itself in the ad read.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah,
about it,
sure.
really. Just want to know what's new and for Marshall Fitness, but I guess that can kind of be lumped into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got one more question. So Dennis Hughes, also part of Thoughts from the Bench. Besides him, probably my best friend at Thoughts from the Bench, was a client of yours.
It was. Yep.
Can you give me? You don't have to like do it on air, but can you give me a little dirt on Denny? I just want to give him a little shit, and you don't have to do it because I don't want you airing your clients' dirty laundry, on air. But can you give me a little something? Was he late on payments? Was he?
No, he's never. No, none of that. No, he was. Dude, he was.
Did he have a bad squat for him?
No, well, see, that's the funny thing about what I do is like I don't always get to see people like move, because it's
All the
online,
time,
and
right,
so
right.
they have like a video of what a proper squat looks
Yeah,
like,
okay.
and so it's like if you want to, like, you should try to emulate that. And if someone, I always tell people like if you're unsure of your form, like take a video of you doing it and
Yep.
send it to me. And like Denny never did that, which I mean. I get it. Like if you're in a crowded gym, like you're not somewhere where you're super comfortable, like it's hard to set up your phone and record yourself.
It's tough to just do that from a look standpoint.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
But I've had other people, and like I had a guy who he was a client of mine in New York who he deadlifted 600 at the end of my program, and that was his goal. Like he was at like 540,
God.
got himself up to 6. Actually, he hit 620, I believe.
Jesus.
He sent me videos of him deadlifting every day.
Yeah.
Like every day he did it, and he was just like, I saw my knee caped here. How can I change that? And I'm like, all right, you should add in like clamshells with a mini band around your knees before you do it. And like, I mean, that was he attributed a lot of that feedback to his ability to be able to pull that much. And, but no, Denny was great. I mean, I know he had an ankle injury, I think, towards the end. And like, and the thing about him too, man, he was playing so much soccer. Like
He still does.
Yeah,
I
he
played
teared it
with
up.
him. I think he's on like 4 teams at a time.
Yeah, that's
It's
what he
crazy.
said, and I was just like,
Yeah.
dude, you're doing all that, and you're
Yeah.
hitting the gym 4 times a week, and like doing all
Yeah.
this running and stuff. I'm like, he's doing a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, to play that much like GPSL is
Yeah, I
one
know.
thing,
I
Like
know.
I just
I
retired
know.
from my GPSL team. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like
Yeah.
not even because of it, not because of how like what it, like I'm fine, like I'm not injured, but it was just like
Yeah.
those leagues, man, can be
Brutal.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, people fighting with refs. It's like I just don't have the time, and part of me, it's like I get it because there's guys that like maybe didn't get to do it at a level that they wanted, and so
Yeah.
then that's their
Right,
thing.
they're living it in their own way.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it just becomes like it becomes too much because I'm like, dude,
Yep.
I've got other things. Like I'm
Yep.
coaching at the pro level. Like
Yeah,
I don't need this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna start arguing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, Want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
All right. Start off with an ad read because we have the man himself here. Why don't we do this?
All right.
There you go.
So I did not prepare for this, but so I guess I should say, I mean, I'm Will Marshall. I am the owner and head trainer at Marshall Fitness. Marshall Fitness is an online training business, and so I have clients now as far as Canada. I've got one in Boston, New York, a lot concentrated in Pittsburgh, and what I do is I write their programming, I give them nutrition. I now have a recipe book that's in the mix. It's a 24-week recipe book, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert.
All right.
Yeah, macros included. They're already preloaded into MyFitnessPal. Makes things very easy to log. Check-ins every week. Got a private Facebook group for all the clients, and things just continue. Like I continue to add things as we go, and kind of one of the taglines is the Peak Fitness Challenge is my signature program, and people have lost as much as 30 pounds in 12 weeks. And it's something that I provide all the steps, I provide all the guidelines, and then I'm kind of just on retainer for my clients for them to ask whatever they may need help with.
Yep.
So it's always evolving. You're not going to get a cookie cutter program to where it's like I give everyone the same thing. Everyone has their own custom program, 100%. It's made for you, and it evolves with you as you kind of work your way through it.
Yep.
And so one of the big new things, and this is very new within the past month, is we have a YouTube channel now. I'm obviously the on-camera guy, but I have a guy that was a Marshall Fitness client in a sense, not in like the Peak Fitness Challenge sense, but came to me. He was an East Allegheny alumni actually, and he kind of knew my family, and I gave him some advice and some macros, and he also I think he's down 30 pounds now at this point. And
that's awesome.
He's done very well and continues to do well, and he kind of came to me and was just like, listen, he used to stream, I guess, and he was like, I know how to edit, I know how to record and all this different stuff. Like, have you ever considered a YouTube channel? Because I think he told me, he's like, I think you're good on camera. And that's a weird thing to me. I've spent a lot of time on camera.
Yep.
And it's something that's hard to do in the beginning. And part of me, I always kind of felt like I'm good at it, but that's a hard thing to tell yourself about yourself.
Oh, 100%.
And so
you don't want to feel vain, but you need to have the confidence to be able to do that.
Exactly. And so that's the thing. We just started that. And so now we put out our second video actually 2 days ago, and then we have a couple shorts going on because now everything is about the short form content, and so and so that's the new thing, and it's kind of meant to be supplemental to everything else that Marshall Fitness does, and get on another platform. And we record like a bunch of videos in one day, and then the goal right now is to continue to stack them so that we can continue to consistently put stuff out while I'm away in Europe.
Which is awesome, man, because you're expanding to different avenues and growing the company. This is the face of the hardest working man in personal fitness right here. So
you know what, I had a client today. I was on a call right before I came here, and this is a client who's been with me for 12 weeks, and he said to me, he was like, yeah, man, like I think word's been getting around that you're having like a lot of success. And I was like, thanks for saying that, but what makes you say that? Because like I don't hear that kind of stuff, and like there's a lot of people, so everyone's in different.
You're just working, and your head's buried in the work.
And he was just like, I just know like some trainers at different gyms, and like your name's come up a couple times. I'm like, that's wild to hear, but like that's sick because
and it's
that
working.
Means I'm
it
doing
shows
something right.
What you're doing is putting you on the right path, and I mean it's only steady rising at this point.
And that's I always have to remind myself of that because it's like in terms of like percentage wise, like Marshall Fitness grew from 21 to 22 by like 350%.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
That's
dude.
huge growth. And like, that's something I could have never expected when I started. Like I didn't think it would happen that fast. I mean, I had a goal for 2022 and I surpassed it by like way more than I could have thought.
Yeah.
And like I said, like it gets difficult at times when you're solely reliant on yourself, but then you look at history and it's like, well, it's only grown, and so it should continue to grow.
Right.
And I'm not changing what I'm doing. I'm only doing more.
Right.
So it's like it's just one of those things. You got to kind of remind yourself to stay like focused on what's happening right now and not necessarily worry about the future.
Right, where you're growing exponentially, but you're not changing, because what got you to the points of growth that you have and what's continuing your skyrocketing at this point is because you stuck to what you knew, and you stuck to what you were good at. And like the biggest marketer for me of anything from what you've done is just the success because of the foundation of what you do and the time and effort that you put into it, you're not changing, you're just evolving. It's different. You're just growing, but you're still keeping the same principles of your business.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why it's done as well as it has. So on behalf of the Vault, congrats,
Thanks,
man. That's
dude.
awesome.
Thanks, dude. No, I appreciate it. I mean, they say, do a good job and make sure everyone knows about it.
Yep.
So that's how you get your name around.
Absolutely.
You got to care a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to take credit for your growth, but this is not what I'm doing at all, but it is cool just being kind of a part of that.
No,
like,
thanks.
a little
No,
bit.
no.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you were there at
Yeah,
the
I'll
beginning
sit
as
on
well.
a
I mean, think about this. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's, this was the first sponsor.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I haven't even really looked at other guys either for I haven't even thought twice about going somewhere else.
No,
Right.
so
It's been
I
good
appreciate
exposure for both parties.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked, man.
Yep.
Keep going, man.
So on that note, this week's topic brought to you by your man here, worst Philly sports jerseys. So this was, I don't know who came up with this, but
You did.
okay. Ben and I just both hate the city of Philadelphia, and we figured this
Hatred's
would.
been stewing for a lifetime.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait, hold on. So, question: do you hate Philadelphia as a city, as a whole, everything that's related to it, or is it just Philly sports?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
No, really, I mean, Philly as a whole, because even like Eagles made the Super Bowl, I don't even really have a bone to pick with like the Eagles themselves. It's just the people of Philadelphia.
Listen, have you driven through Philly? It's one of the saddest places ever.
Yeah,
Downtown's nice, I guess, but like it's still like not that nice.
See,
You know?
and I don't know if I should say this leading up to what we're about to talk about, but I love Philadelphia. Like,
That's tough.
And listen,
that's
listen.
tough. That's tough.
But remember,
Right. So
I
remember
lived.
how you said you weren't looking. Or anything else. I don't know,
Listen,
man. This
I-
might change our whole dynamic. Here.
I lived in the region for a year. Like when I was
well,
in
Westchester is not
the same thing.
Philadelphia.
Right.
Westchester
No,
ain't
it's
Philly.
a different thing. But I was surrounded by Philly people, and I can say, and I'm sure people say this about us, is like the Philadelphia slang sucks. Like
John.
yes, like it's
Water.
like some of my teammates and
Yeah,
they
we're like go Flyers.
yeah.
Like that type of
I mean,
shit, yeah.
I was just like, what's going on here? And
Yeah.
but I mean, I had a couple of Pitt teammates live in Philly now, and I went out there in September for a weekend, and my old roommate from Westchester lives out there, and it's we had a good time. But I do get
Which
Philly
is hard
sports.
to believe, but like
Listen.
I'll take your word for it. I trust you.
Listen. I went to Penn State. I have a lot of friends from Philly.
Yeah.
I've been out to Philly a few times. I have a great time because they're my friends.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but I'm
I
not
don't
like-
think less of them because
Right,
of
but
their.
I'm not enjoying the city of
The
Philadelphia.
that's the thing. Yeah, we didn't really
Like,
do much
I
in
love
Philly,
the-
if I'm
the
being
times
honest.
of who you're with.
Yeah.
Can change it, but to me, if it was like if I just went there and went to hang out with like strangers, I'd probably kill myself.
Probably
I
pretty
mean, I
tough.
just like Philly's.
Yeah.
There's a reason we're doing this episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's because of our joint hatred for Philly. So
Yeah.
you're just gonna have to hop on our bandwagon.
Listen, no,
I
we
mean-
just thought it'd be fun because the ones where we rip on a particular topic, it's
usually
always
where
fun.
things
Yeah.
flow.
And we thought that you'd be a good.
No,
good,
no. I mean,
you know.
I can make it happen for
Yeah,
sure. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
listen. I hate the Flyers. I share that for sure.
Right.
The Eagles, I agree. Like, I don't really have a huge bone to pick with the Eagles in particular. But
Like to me, I would let England own the U.S. again if it meant that we got rid of Philadelphia. That's what I would do. Like, whatever your opinions are, I'm not going to get political here, but a lot of people were against building a wall. I would be for it if it meant that we just blocked out Philly and made them their own crappy country, and then like the rest of the United States would be saved at that point. So,
Yeah, well, yeah, Philly scum is definitely a thing. I have two redeeming qualities about Philly. One of them is just a buddy of mine. I'm gonna be a groomsman in his wedding. I can't knock him too much because he's a
one
good
of my
dude.
best friends
He's a good
well,
dude.
He's from Bucks County, not.
Well, but
necessarily
that's the
Philly,
thing.
but,
It's either if you go to Penn State, you're either from outside of Philly or you're from Pittsburgh. So they just consider, even if you're 2 hours away, they consider
Yeah.
themselves Philly. That and I'm okay with the Eagles this year because they were playing Creed at practice. So like I'm all in on the Eagles.
True.
Yeah,
Creed
Creed,
rips.
dude, Creed low key rips, dude.
Well, and I mean, I think that Philly might want to thank Creed because they obviously took them higher because now
Yeah.
they're in the Super Bowl. So,
Yeah, there we go. There we go. But yeah, we were doing the worst Philly jerseys. I think this is just gonna be fun. So
Yeah, we
Ben,
gotta stop beating around the gnarly bush. Let's
Yeah.
jump in and
let's
tear it
go.
up.
All right, Benny, what do you got for your first pick?
First of all, let's talk about Villanova for a second, because I know majority of what we're doing are pro sports teams to a point.
Yep.
Their colleges aren't getting off any easier either. This is a 1995 Villanova alternate special. Villanova, there's like Villanova, Temple, Drexel, but I feel like everybody associates Villanova as the Philly college.
That
down
and
there for the
Temple
most
probably,
part.
yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
like the go-to, especially because they have been pretty prominent in basketball, but sure as hell ain't because of these pieces of toilet paper
Yeah.
that we have right here. They kind of look like they're using the font that's used for like Hawaiian Punch, and they also have like any time that the shorts are multicolored to where it like curves
Yep.
and loops into each other is always a bad look. I don't like the font in the colors. I feel like they're ripping off Yukon a little bit.
Yep.
To where like the red didn't necessarily need to be in there, and it doesn't really work. That logo that's like on their hip, and then like I said, the shorts all together are really what pushed me over the edge. But the font just doesn't make sense, and I can appreciate wanting to change it up a bit, but change it up to where it still looks good. Because Villanova has some good, simple, classic
Yep.
type jerseys, and this was not one of them. Definitely the biggest eyesore in Villanova history for me. So I feel like when you're getting the youth of Philly and putting them in something like this, they're just gonna, I mean, that's setting them on the path to be scumbags, obviously, then and thereforth. So you're screwing up your youth to then just adopt, like, hey, we're gonna continue sucking as we become adults, and this is potentially a part of it.
Got a roll there.
Oh, I love that. That was good.
Yeah.
The shorts are bad.
Tough.
Dude,
They're
I
not
just
good tough. Like,
yeah.
ugh, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the jersey's all one solid color and then the shorts aren't.
Yeah,
doesn't
weird.
make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that font. I didn't even realize it until you said it too. That is 100% Hawaiian Punch. They should have that little
Yeah.
dude on the side.
Yeah.
Remember that guy? Remember that
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah.
No, I mean the A too. Look, it's like it's not even. It's like they ran out of room. You know.
Yo, that's the thing. They're
squeezing
off.
it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
off center.
it's-
That's what. Yeah, it's like when you're writing a word on a piece of paper and you're getting to the end and you have to like make the last few
Or
words like
even
real
like
small.
on the back
You know.
of jerseys when someone has like a really long name, especially in basketball, because
Yeah.
you've only got so much to work
Yep.
with that they're really just like threading the needle there,
Yep.
trying to
Yeah.
get that in on there.
Baby
And
font.
it was like you did not need to do this. This
No.
is so unnecessary, just like the entire city. But like they really pushed it here, and I get that it was the '90s. '90s is home to a lot of ridiculous-looking things
That
some
I
of
love,
them-
yeah.
yeah, but some of them pan out.
Yeah.
This not on that list.
Yeah.
for sure.
No, these are tough.
Yeah, the logo on the hip, man. I didn't see that either until you. I didn't know what that was. Like I thought it was like a continuation of the pattern. You know, like it was like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? It's like the white like started there and then it dropped off. It was as if the shorts kept going into the jersey. Like you were just wearing shorts that was like a romper type thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like then you'd have that white continue into the
Right, it
tank
just
top.
looks bad in the like the logo on the hip is just like a holster for dysfunction. I don't I don't understand it. I never will, but thank God they've never recreated these and they've never brought these back. So probably that's one thing that Philly's done that's probably a good thing
Yeah.
is to leave these dead and buried.
Yeah. No, these. It kind of looks like right here. It kind of looks like his jersey's just kind of untucked in the front. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or he's got like an apron.
Shorts like
Yeah.
that are kind of in style now. Have you seen those where it's like there's like the I mean I would never wear them, but it's like there's like a word across the front. Have you
So
seen
that's
those?
different. No, that's one thing. I don't really. I
Yeah.
can't wear those either. I'm not.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I mean, either
don't
I
have
just
the-
obviously don't fit the build of people who would wear stuff like that. But like this is like where those can be put in a fashion statement type deal,
Yeah.
whatever. This is just bad.
Yeah, people wear those shorts still wear snapbacks, like in a
Mm.
non-ironic way.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah. They're wearing the snapbacks, but also wearing the what are they? The satchels, the purses. No?
dude,
I can't get behind that
Listen.
either.
I
Yeah.
blame Philly for that too.
Yeah. Probably not Philly, but
I actually have one of those. I've never worn it yet, but the reason I got it was for
For Europe?
traveling to Europe. Yeah, because in they say about like France, for example. I got a day in France because my flight got canceled from Paris to Porto. Pickpockets, and I was just like, I should get one of those because then I don't have to worry
well,
about
I
it.
can. Well, listen.
It's functional.
As someone who's also been to Europe, I thought about that too.
Oh shit.
You just need to get a smaller wallet.
And one thing that
It's Nike, though.
anytime I go anywhere that I think is like sketchy or whatever, I put my wallet in my front pockets. instead of my back pockets because if it's in my front pocket, I know I'm swelling in my pants enough to where I will know if someone's trying to jiggle that loose. I have no ass whatsoever, so there's a lot of room back there for someone to just take it out without me knowing because I essentially am all hips. So
front pocket's a good move. Yeah,
right.
it's a good
So
move.
I've developed that way. Not knocking the Manny pack, but like I just know that like I would look absurd.
I don't really understand it. I just don't get it.
Some are wild,
So
yeah.
you're more of a function.
It's fun.
a functional
The sole
thing.
purpose was functional, but like I do see people out there like got them across.
Well, yeah,
the-
they'll go to Giant Eagle with it on. I'm
see,
like,
that's
what? You don't
pretty
need
wild.
to do that.
That's you're
Like,
accessorizing over the top for no reason.
Yeah, you don't need to
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
something you wear to Wawa, you bunch of nerds.
You're really
Getting started on
really
Wawa.
dunking on fit, which I mean that's the, kind of the point. But so you have to stay in France for a day.
Yeah.
that sucks.
Uh,
All those cowards.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have that aspect.
Only
of
thing
it.
good about them are fries, man. That's
They're
that's about it.
they're not even French,
I
dude.
know,
They're
that
Belgian.
that was the joke.
The,
Yeah.
What is it? Frites? Papa's Frites? I think that's how you say it.
Papa's
Okay,
Frites.
yeah.
Whatever.
Tell me that sounds better. France. Anyway.
Well, in
but-
Portuguese, it's batatas fritas. I think it's.
Okay, and that
Fritas,
almost
yeah.
makes a little more sense. I got no beef with the Portuguese.
I'm learning
Okay,
Portuguese. I know
got-
some Portuguese.
That's pretty sick,
That's
actually.
sick.
You'd be great in Portugal
I-
and Peru,
in Brazil.
and Brazil, right?
I actually have no beef with the French. I just like making fun of them.
No, it's
My fiance loves France.
evergreen
No,
content right there.
I've got beef with the French.
I have no actual beef with the French other than they're just fun to make
No,
fun
yeah,
of.
it's easy. It's
Like,
low-hanging
it's
fruit.
just funny to
Right.
me.
Yeah.
You know.
Zinedine Zidane's best play in soccer was a headbutt. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, that's not true, but it is funny to talk about.
right? No, I definitely think so.
Okay.
To me, I hope he moves to Philly. Anyway.
Anyways, all right. Go ahead.
All right. So, looking at this, like, I was like, was this added in on accident? Like, I didn't even think this was Philly because it looks like St. Louis, or is it? I mean, were they the LA or who? St. Louis Rams, right? Went from somewhere else and then to St. Louis.
They
then
started
back to LA, right?
in LA.
They were LA, went to St. Louis, and were like, "Hey, Missouri, fuck yourself." Went back to LA.
Yeah.
So
that's what this looks like classic like 80s LA Rams fit, you know,
Yeah.
but it's 03. Like I don't know what's
Right.
your excuse there? I mean, like
We're like a '90s high school.
yeah, like I mean
Yep.
there's not even anything on that, you know? It's like
Right.
it's
Yep.
it's strictly like these are like generic starter kits that you get at
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like maybe you get at the
This
Dick's.
is what Tony Romo would wear in a commercial.
Yeah,
Right,
this is
like,
this is
yeah.
clearance stuff. I mean,
Tough.
even the helmet, like it doesn't even.
Yeah.
They did not.
Well, it's a
even
rip off
try.
Michigan.
Yeah.
I would even go less. It's a rip off Woody High helmet.
Oh yeah. And the other part too is like I gotta feel like it's something. There's got to be more to this because there's not even
Well,
an Eagles like logo on
There
it.
is, this was actually on the show like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no way.
I think or last week, 2 weeks ago.
This same one.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
This same
for-
one.
for
The same.
worst NFL
But like
players.
that's why I wanted to get your take on it too. I'm always gonna I'm gonna love an opportunity to just shit on it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like,
and
I'm not
especially
gonna.
because
Yeah, because look at it.
Philly.
Yeah.
it belongs to Philadelphia. Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a hit. It was from like the 30s or something.
Okay.
Which my
Doesn't-
point for that was, they're too bright.
Yeah.
They're too, and back in the 30s,
Black and
there's
white
no.
pictures?
Yeah. Well, they just lived life in black and white because they were in the Depression.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, whereas, like to me, this just goes to show you that this is like you said originally from the 30s. Philly's never known what they're doing, so they've never made a good decision ever. And this is just bad. It's just straight up.
These
bad.
are straight up like create your own jersey Madden 05 type stuff where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like I feel like this would have done really well with a focus group of first graders.
Yeah.
They would have been like, "Yeah, this is cool,
It's
man."
bright.
And
Yeah,
then
it looks
these
like the
Allegheny
sun.
Mighty
Yeah.
Mites.
Yeah.
But again, Philadelphia first graders, because again, they're training their youth to grow up to not be so sharp.
Yeah.
You know.
Different.
Yeah,
thing,
no,
Yeah.
these are bad. It's hard to ruin powder blue, but they don't use. I don't know. I've already shit on these enough. Go watch the other episode if you want to hear me bitch about these.
Finish this one first, though.
Yeah,
please.
that is true. All right, so we're gonna go to my first pick. So I'm going with the 2010 Philadelphia Union. I don't know what I just call these the mustard brown.
The Dijon mustards,
Yeah, the Dijon, the shitty Dijons. These are This is a shade of gold that just never looks good on anything. I know Pitt had these colors for a while. I'm glad that they went back.
Yeah, it was
to-
still a
But
little
even
brighter
still,
than
they
that.
manipulated the colors in a way better way
Yeah.
than this. Also, I think that's just another thing where
It was like a part of the transition.
right.
Yeah.
And,
Because it
and
was
Pitt's
like-
Yeah.
just Pittsburgh is superior to Philly, and this is just another way we can flex on them.
Yep.
To a point. But yeah, dude, these are. I don't understand the way that they set it up with like a stripe that doesn't even
Yeah,
go all
no,
the way up
I
to the
was gonna.
collar.
So
It's just
I
a
was gonna say that.
rectangle.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a skyscraper, like because it's just like a random ass fucking rectangle on there that
I'm
stops.
pretty sure
Right.
that's the steel building, dude. They shouted out Pittsburgh and then they were like, we know we're not good enough.
Yeah,
so we gotta
dude.
throw
Hey, is
steel
that
building.
Kathy? Is that Kathy, dude? But yeah, well, and there's also it's kind of I don't know when the Union kind of became a club, but like they at this point they didn't have any sponsors on the front, which makes it look even worse.
Because you see, that FC Dallas said they got a sponsor in the.
Yeah,
Well, nobody wanted to support this.
yeah, no one wanted to support
Yeah,
this.
I mean the kit and
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
So
and I don't know if you can tell from this, it's because it's a little small for us right now. The shorts, it looks like they're pleated. There's like a little crease
Oh,
because they're so
yeah.
fucking baggy. Yeah,
pleated soccer shorts.
yeah, dude, it's what it looks like.
Sounds
What
like
a
something
time,
only
dude.
Philly would do.
Looking at that, man, like that's a Jabulani ball. Like that's World
yeah.
Cup, 2010. Those boots too, like those are the
Oh, I love
zeros, I
those,
think,
yeah.
or the F50s.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that was like, I mean, it's wild looking at that and thinking like that was what we were trying to look like,
Yeah.
back in 2010.
Well, seems like this is something that only the shadow of a doubt would support because for damn sure Bible Man.
yeah, that's
I knew- I was
right.
waiting for it to
Prayers
come
up.
Greater vision for the world of sports than knowing that he just has to leave Philly in sin. Like you just got to leave him there and let them look like this. This is supported by shadow of a doubt. Shout out Bible Man. He would never support this. So
Love that. I was gonna ask
yeah.
when the first Bible Man
Yeah.
callback was
No,
gonna be.
I knew that like the tension was boiling there, and I
Yeah.
had to just bring him out, for the good of the gospel. So
Yeah. No, Union. Prayers up.
prayers up.
All right, Benny, what do you got for your second one?
All right, so here's another one. I don't know where to begin. This Saturday night special, which how special is you just threw together a red prison jumpsuit.
Sounds like a strip club,
And-
honestly.
And threw
Pleasure Island.
that fat, obnoxious P on there, okay, that stands for putrid because that's what these are. With then like the P that has no correlation to the font of the numbers whatsoever. The numbers are like more of like a modern standard number font, and then that fat P in the prison jumpsuit, which honestly pretty fitting because that's where every citizen of Philadelphia belongs is jail. So I hate them head to toe. These are revered as one of the worst jerseys in Philly sports history.
Yep.
And definitely in baseball. Like, I guess they're not that bad, but it's just like you could have done something different because I know we like to say that simple can be clean at times, but this is just what they did with the simplicity of it just looks bad. It just doesn't look good to me.
Yeah.
Just aesthetically, it's like, oh, okay. I guess the warden let them go play baseball for a little bit.
Longest yard.
Right.
Longest
Like, I
9.
mean, I don't know. It's just not working.
Yeah, no. So they have a powder blue version of these. I think
remember
those
those.
are good.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's hard to fuck that up. Powder blue always kind of smacks, like we say. This is the same thing, but in red. There's something about it being like all red that just does not. If it was all white like normal and they just used throwback logo, fine.
Yeah.
Powder blue, fine. Literally anything else except for this red jumpsuit. They're out here looking like Santa Claus was on the Marshall Fitness diet. You know?
Oh no.
It's you know what? When I was looking at for my jerseys as well, there was the picture of was McCutcheon in one of these, right? Did you
Yeah.
see that picture?
Yep,
And
yep.
he's like in the dugout with it, like he's like all the buttons are gone, and
Yep.
I think he's not smoking a cigar, is he?
He's drinking out of a red Solo cup. I think.
I remember seeing that.
He's
I
got,
remember
like,
seeing that
sunglasses
picture.
on,
Yeah.
yeah.
On,
like-
flexing the chain with the hat propped up a little bit, looking like somebody's stepdad. Like I can appreciate that picture because I love Kutch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different.
But I mean, again, Philly, guess what? He left there. Guess where he's back now?
Yep.
In the city where he belongs and where he knows that, there's just good moral people, and that they're not gonna just
Salt of
be-
the earth people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And not just like salt on a slug people, which is essentially what Philly is.
Yeah.
Which. I mean, maybe we should just dump a bunch of salt on them, and the
Bunch of slugs,
people that they
yeah.
are will just shrivel up and disappear.
It's funny. Do you watch It's Always Sunny? Do you guys watch?
Yes, and what's funny is I love that show, but because there's a lot of them
Well,
shitting on the city.
Oh no, it's what it is. But they make that. They call the one their cousin
Gale
the
Snail.
slug. Yeah, Gale the
Yeah,
Snail.
Gale the Snail.
They throw salt at her. So I just love that.
Yeah, dude, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best.
Yeah. Yeah. These are Saturday night special. Sounds so dirty. I don't like. It sounds like a dirty Philly night, which is not something that I want to be a part of.
And
So.
I mean, every night in Philly's a dirty Philly night. So.
It's always Saturday.
Dirty Philly. All right, Willie, what you got for your second pick?
See, and this is where, like I was saying, like I hate the Flyers, and it's the one that I feel the most justified, like to the core,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
These make sense.
yeah, I mean, this is like, and you know what I think about with the Phillies all the time is there's that Twitter account. And I'm not even on Twitter as much as I used to be, but there's a Twitter account out there, and it's like days since the Flyers have won a Stanley Cup, and it's like, what is it, like 49 years or something like that? Like it's a long time.
It's at least 40.
It's
Yeah.
long enough to send the message. You guys should probably just get rid of the Flyers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know how like we could use another expansion team. I'd love another Kraken or a Golden Knights to replace this. I mean, put it anywhere. Put the team anywhere. Put it in Apollo, Pennsylvania, and they'll be more successful than in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Because the Flyers, look at this.
Yeah, it's the colors too. Like and this is the Flyers as a whole, not even these kits in particular. But I mean, I never really thought about the fact that in Pittsburgh every team is the same, has the same
Yep.
scheme, and like, what was Philly thinking about? I guess when they decided to do this. I mean, you got orange and black, and then you've got the dark green and black, and then you got the
Red, white, and
Sixers.
blue.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, it's like it's all over the shop. And these, like to your point about retro stuff, it's like there's stuff that's so cool that's retro,
Yeah.
and this just sucks so bad. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't. I mean,
Look
I'd
at
be
the sleeves.
shocked if anyone from
Yeah.
Philly is wearing that as like a throwback jersey.
Well,
Yeah.
they are because they're just
Yeah.
illiterate.
Morons, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Illiterate.
like, this is just tough. Like, tough to look at and tough to be like, yes, this is it. And like, their colors, I think, are like Halloween colors because they're that scary awful.
Yeah.
And, like, oh, man. I've
Yeah.
got some more to add about the Flyers that I'm going to save
Yep.
for right now. But yeah, this is a great pick to put on there because these are just terrible. Again, biggest thing that I'm drawn to is the sleeves.
Yep.
What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, the logo too, because they tried to make it 3D, and that's
they
what
made
they're
it
known
worse.
for is
They
like
made
the
it worse.
logo. Yeah, they try to make it look 3D. I don't even know how but supposedly that was the reason for it. I have no idea, but like.
Oh, it still doesn't.
Yeah,
make
I don't know.
sense.
And they put like a blue ring around the center too. I have no
Oh,
idea.
really?
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
even see that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and because I was reading up on these today when you sent it to me, and I was like, I was trying to figure out what made it so bad. That's why, because I know it's bad. You look at it, and you
But
know.
par for the
But,
course for
yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
Can't get nothing right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Go to my second pick. We're going Arena League
I
football.
love this
It's a
pick.
great
Yeah.
pick. Yeah.
I
It's so
love
good.
this pick.
So, again, I've said it before. It's kind of hard to ruin powder blue. Philadelphia has managed to do it. I know that these stripes are supposed to be like kind of like the logo, like the tail is coming off the football, and I guess I kind of get it.
Because all footballs have tails.
Right. But it's like flames. They're not really flames. That's the logo doesn't make sense first of
Wait,
all. But
you're saying that black is supposed to be flames?
yeah, so.
Well, it's the way that I looked at it is that you know how like in a show or like especially in cartoons when something stinks or it smells, there's like
Yeah.
smell waves coming
Yep.
off of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's because this is a steaming pile of shit, and that's the steam releasing from
Radiating.
the poop that's
Yeah.
on here.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. If you look at the logo on the helmet, it's a football with like these like
Yeah, because it's
weird little
steaming hot
tales.
poopies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like they're the people who like they loved like WAP by Cardi B because they thought it stood for wet ass poopies, and that's what they just put into the Philadelphia Soul.
Oh,
I think I said that before. Was that off the cuff?
That was off the cuff. But also when John Bon Jovi is a part owner.
yo, I was gonna bring that up too, like because that adds nothing to my argument about why these are bad, but it's just such a funny thing to say out loud. Is John Bon Jovi for 5 years was an owner of the Philadelphia Soul in Arena League football.
The Eagles get Creed. They had to settle for Bon Jovi.
It's for Bon
The
Jovi.
Eagles downloaded Creed. They stole Creed. Creed
They
was
pirated
like,
Creed.
hell
They got
yeah.
they got Creed off of LimeWire, bro. Yeah.
Off a lot.
I hate Bon Jovi, man.
You hate Bon
I
Jovi?
do.
Bon Jovi has some good
I
songs.
hate Bon Jovi.
I don't like Bon Jovi the guy. He seems kind of fucking weird,
He's a
but
weird guy for sure. But
Yeah.
like that's part of it. But then also like I don't know, man. Those songs bug me. Like I mean for the
I think some of them are good. So I enjoy some Bon Jovi.
They're catchy,
Kinda
like-
He's a bit too Caucasian for me.
I was just gonna say that.
Bon Jovi
that's the playlist. White
looks
people go
like the
crazy.
type of
Bon
guy
Jovi.
who like takes his kids to their sporting events or to like birthday parties and stuff and tries to hit on the other moms without his wife finding out. Like
Yeah.
that's what he kind of gives me
Yeah.
the vibe of, which
Yeah.
is funny because that aligns with how I view the entire
City of Philadelphia. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, I was also gonna say that this is giving me big time Will Ferrell and Kicking and Screaming vibes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of too. And then I was trying to find out what brand this is because of course the Arena League uses whack brands for their jerseys.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's right here. It's a Z, and no joke, the Z looks like the Z from Dragon Ball Z. I just
Okay.
think that's
Yeah. That
kind
you
of
got the Z, and then you got the Hyundai logo on the other
Exa-
side.
yeah, exactly.
Brutal.
Yeah, I don't.
Tough.
I don't. Yeah, the graphic just makes it look like a bad graphic tee, like like an Avatar the movie graphic tee that they gave out at the screening.
Yeah,
you know?
or like this would have been used for like Protege. You
Yes.
remember Al Harrington's brand? Like shout out Al
Yeah.
Harrington, but he
Yeah.
also ditched Protege to start a
What a-
weed
wow,
business.
what a
So
callback.
he
What a
was
callback.
going on.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, hold on, sorry. Back to Bon Jovi real quick. And so my thing with because I remember being like 10 and being on like Yahoo Music, which was like how you listen to music before like you could actually listen to music whenever you wanted.
I don't
like you
think I've
can now.
ever
Now, I had like a
used-
profile on Yahoo Music. I don't know why that was my go-to, but
I hope it's still there.
the song it's probably there. It's probably a lot of like Kelly Clarkson and like
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I like
All
Kelly
right.
Clarkson back in the day.
Hosting the NFL honors for no reason this
Right,
year.
Yeah.
no reason.
But sorry.
No, I mean,
continue.
just Bon Jovi's one song because his like logo is that smiley face. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the face with like the
Yeah, so
glare.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I was
don't-
always
yeah.
like that. It's like like have a nice day. Like shut the like it's like it's not.
They say shut the
It's
fuck
not
up.
really like it's too. Like the imaging is like too hard for what the song is, and for
Yeah, it's
him
fair.
being the
Yeah.
face of it.
Yeah, no, that's one of his tougher looks.
Yeah,
without
it's
a
just
doubt.
like
Yeah.
it's like people are gonna be like they're putting that shit on their highlight tape,
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, for John-
this
for
is
Bon
the
Jovi.
revenge song. Yeah, like come on, bro. I mean, it's gotta be some. There's gotta be something else.
Who's putting this on their highlight
Yeah,
tape?
some 5-star recruits got living on a parade.
Yeah.
I bet, though,
highlight tape on Huddle and
You
shit.
could probably I mean, highlight tapes weren't a huge thing back then, but I bet there's somebody out there that has a Bon Jovi song as their like YouTube huddle highlight video.
Oh, 100%.
D4 bound.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah, these are bad. I think it's funny that the Arena League was around in 2019. That kind of cracks me
Yeah,
up a
I
little bit
forget
too.
that it's a real thing and not
Yeah.
just like flag football.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right.
To the city of Philadelphia, I hate you. I know that hate is a strong word, which is why I choose to use it. I think that you have a useless population, and all of your sports, I hope, are cursed for the rest of eternity. You have not even really been a thorn in the side of Pittsburgh sports because you haven't been a threat to us literally ever. And my primary hatred goes to the Flyers. I would bring back, think of any group of awful people throughout history, and I would trade them to remove the Flyers from the annals of sports history ever, since any sport was ever invented. And you numbnuts decided that you were going to be the Flyers, which in my mind, is a sheet of paper that you put up on a fucking telephone pole somewhere, and that's what you are. Your logo is a flying puck because you were like, hey, what sport are we playing? The hockey? Let's take the thing that it is. That'd be like if we were the Pittsburgh Footballs, and we just had a football is our logo for the Steelers. So lazy and unoriginal and just almost embarrassing. And you want to try and take the P and make it look cool like Pittsburgh has done? Okay, the classic P is the Pirates P. You had to change shit up and copy us because you're in the lesser half of the state, you bunch of douchebags. So now, in recent years, the Winter Classic is looked at is like an elite sports event.
For sure.
So you come out with these prison stripe jumpsuit things, but only on the sleeves and only above your loins, which I'm sure are all as smooth as a mannequin's down there, with this like old school font that you try and throw on there that doesn't make sense with the rest of the jersey. Then you got your stupid new school logo up on top on the shoulder and all this stuff, and then just like the only black and orange. You didn't even throw in like white highlights there or anything. It's like in the tattoo world, like someone had a heavy hand and just pounded this black in there as hard as they could. It looks lazy, it looks effortless, and it just looks bad. It would have looked better if you even kept the shoulders the way they were and maybe had one stripe on the sleeves or like one stripe on the bottom. You put too many stripes in there, and I think it was because that you were using them as blinds so that it could maybe block some of it, and we had to peep through to see the rest of the bullshit that you threw up on here. But this is a perfect representation of the rest of your city, which is just completely and utterly unforgivable. I hate you and every person who lives there, and especially anybody who's ever played for the Flyers. Lick my gooch. That's my closing statement. So.
Yeah, that was.
How you follow that? Just cut it right there.
Yeah, I don't have. Why is the Flyers on a 45?
On a tilt.
Yeah, and then but the
full
swoosh
tilt.
isn't. That doesn't
Well,
make any
because
sense.
their whole city's crooked, so that makes sense. That's what has to
That's a
happen
good
there.
point there, details wise.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I didn't even
yeah.
see that. And the other thing, I didn't know until you said it that their logo is a puck. Like I never knew what that
Yeah,
was.
I
A
frankly
puck
I had
turned
no
into a
idea.
P. And again, those are not like win streaks or whatever.
Yeah.
It's more poop steams. That's what it is. And it's funny, like when you go to Philadelphia, there's like a brown glaze over the entire city because it's just
Oh,
shit
it's
ridden.
sad.
It's
Yeah.
I hate it.
Dude, it's always overcast. There in Cleveland are always overcast.
Yeah, hey, Liberty Bell. There's a reason why it's cracked.
It does.
Okay,
Oh, Liberty Bell sucks so bad,
and
dude.
like that's an overblown
Yeah.
landmark. And City of Brotherly Love. Have you ever been in Philly? That is the
Yeah,
most
it's
unloving
not.
place in the world,
Yeah.
and it's riddled with sin. I.e., why Bible Man's never been there. So, I mean, why would he go there when he knows that there's no hope and your city is essentially hell on earth? So,
Yeah.
You know what? Liberty Bell too. Have you've seen the Liberty Bell in
Yes.
person?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. I was a freshman in college. We went out there, and it was it's so underwhelming. And
Yeah.
National Treasure is one of my favorite movies of all time. That movie gets me going, dude.
Okay.
I love
That's
that
an
shit.
interesting piece.
Like-
I learned about the Christopher Lloyd thing with you.
yeah.
Now I'm learning that this Nick Cage movie is.
So is
like,
it Nick Cage or is it
It's-
National Treasure?
It's not necessarily. I know Nick Cage now is a weird guy, and like, but
What is now? He's been a weird
well,
guy.
I didn't know.
since-
I just didn't know. Like I
Oh,
knew.
okay.
I knew
He's
because
a
I
hero
mean
of humanity. I mean,
but like that movie. I mean, it's an old movie at this point, but I don't know. Like I mean, I was gonna be a history teacher, and like I like American history and shit like that, and so like National Treasure, I was always like, this shit's fucking sweet. I just think it's a great movie. I love watching that movie. They always said they were gonna make a third one. I don't know if that's still gonna happen or not, but
I kind of hope not.
probably
Yeah.
not now.
But the Liberty Bell,
Yeah.
wow! Like I can't believe I waited in line to see that. Like it's literally like you're looking
Yeah.
down at it. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be this massive bell, and it's so disappointing.
Yeah.
And for that to
Yeah.
be like a tourist attraction, and I mean, you have the historical piece, which like it has to be, but for Philly to have like to claim that as a thing that is like
Yeah.
that's their thing.
yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks. That
Tough.
sucks real bad.
No, that's tough. Benny, that was poetry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
I'm
nailed
a
that.
poet and didn't even know it.
There we go. All right. Will, what you got for this last
Silky
one?
smooth.
What's funny about this one, and this is, I mean, that's not Allen Iverson, but when I was a child, I had that jersey, but Allen Iverson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so like, I mean, you respect Allen Iverson.
Oh, AI
for sure.
was my favorite.
For
yeah.
sure, absolute dog. But until now, I didn't realize how just like shocking of a jersey that it is. And like this picture is good. It's good that it's not AI because, you know, again,
I mean, Iguodala was
It's
also
in
yeah.
the wrong number too. He wore a 4 for a month, and
Yeah.
then he went to 9.
9, yeah.
And then that's what his legacy was. So, I mean, you couldn't even give your star players a number they needed off the bat. It sounds like you just don't give a shit
Yeah,
because
and-
you're a terrible city.
Well, looking at these two is like, because the thing about this jersey in particular is that when you read about this one being one of the worst, it's like the black version of that jersey was one
Which
of the
is
best.
hard.
It's like it
Is
was
hard.
sick. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then like
But it's the silky blue, like pajama looking
Yeah.
shit that I'm just like, get it out.
the
Dude.
red collar is
Yeah.
nonsense.
I'm pretty
too.
sure I had this exact, if you want to call it a jersey short. It was just an And One brand without the Sixers
Yeah.
as like a Sixer. I'm pretty sure I had the same thing, dude.
Dude, so the jersey that I had was like, I mean, I like I said, I didn't know anything about basketball. Like I was just like, you know, kind of like following the trends. Like kids were wearing basketball jerseys, so I'm like, I'm gonna get a basketball jersey.
Yeah.
And I had one of these, and I mean, it's like a youth large. And when we were in high school, like we'd have like gym tournaments, you know, like
Yeah.
so we had a basketball team, and I brought in like 5 childhood jerseys, and so there were all of us that were like 18 wearing these tight ass jerseys,
That's
only to go
hilarious.
get absolutely bodied in these gym tournaments.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure I wore that one, and I made it look sick. You know, to be fair, I started lifting right around then. But
Right.
the logo
The
also,
schmedium one?
yeah, it was a youth schmedium. And I mean the logo's really bad too. I mean with the star over
See,
the
I disagree.
eye.
I disagree with the logo
like the logo?
because
I like the
I
logo.
this so the first
But-
NBA game I ever watched was Sixers Lakers when it was like Kobe's first year back after.
Was it the gold Lakers jerseys, like the same era? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
it was the same era, yeah, but
those
it
gold
was
jerseys, Lakers jerseys. Were
it was like
crazy.
everyone was making a big deal about Kobe coming back, right?
Yeah.
And after the issues that he had, and it was like a big deal that he was back, and then AI and the Sixers just shit on him.
Yeah.
His first game back. I remember, that was the first NBA game I ever watched. It was these, not the blue ones, but I think like the black ones or white
Yeah.
ones. I have a soft spot for the old school Sixers
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
So,
It's I mean it's
yeah.
it's like NBA Street a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Throw back to that, but
yeah.
I mean the black and the white jerseys of these were awesome. But
Yeah,
then
I like
it's
the white
almost
ones
like
too. Yeah.
You had
yeah.
they had to have a third, and
Yeah, and
they
this
knew it
just
had to
wasn't
be
it.
blue, and it was just like they were just like, yeah, this will work.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not
No,
really the
this
other
is
ones
a
they
ca-
put the work into, and this they did
Yeah.
not.
This is a Kmart basketball jersey that you would get back in the day.
Yeah.
Kmart North for sales, yeah.
Yep, 100%. Just that shitty fabric, Yeah.
Snags on everything.
Yep. No, 100%. All right.
All right, Smallsy, bring us home, man.
Yep. So I also have another Sixers one. This has been featured on the show before. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Come on, Chuck.
Yeah. So this is the second episode in a row Chuck has made the cut. Last week it was Ben. He is on a roll. And the thing is, I actually really like Charles Barkley just as a dude because
Yeah, he's
funny.
hilarious.
You know.
Yeah, but these are, as he would say, terrible.
He's a turtle. Yeah. So the big time. I think I've said this before. Big time. NBC. The more you know vibes. 1000%.
Yes.
And it's astounding.
Like Reading Rainbow.
You're reading
form,
Rainbow.
too.
I was thinking Magic School Bus.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Miss Frizzle.
Miss Frizzle.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah, dog. Miss Frizzle, dog.
No, but the minimum amount of effort went into these because I'm pretty sure like men's like YMCA basketball league jerseys have more effort put into them than these. I'm pretty sure whoever made these
And that's saying something because they're usually pennies.
yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Well, yeah. So do you guys know the red, white, and blue popsicles?
Yeah.
Yeah, bomb pops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure whoever's putting these together, guaranteed just eating one of those, and he's like, oh, let me just incorporate this somehow and just mailed it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no effort put into these like whatsoever.
No.
Yeah, it's just stuff like slapped on and with like the stars and stuff just like evolving from a blob and then just throwing Sixers in. Like the font sucks, like just head to toe, not a good look, even for a 90s kit.
Yeah.
Unrelated. Have you guys speaking of bomb pops, have you been to Pins yet? In
Yes.
Southside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know they have the drink there. They stick the bomb pop in.
I have not.
I didn't have
Yeah.
it, but I saw people drinking.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Which like that alone, I'm like, who's walking around Pins sucking on a popsicle at 12 at night.
People from Philadelphia. That's
Crazy.
Yeah, no, that's Pins is fun though.
Pins is sick.
Yeah,
No
Pins is
free
fun,
ads,
yeah.
but Pins is awesome.
No
Yeah.
free ads.
Like I'm 2 blocks from there, and it's
Yeah.
honestly like it's in my opinion like the new Coupe de Ville. Like it.
Yeah.
When I first went there, I was like,
which
okay,
I ran into Will at Coupe de Ville.
Yep, that was how we met
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah, for the first
in
time in
person.
person.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And no, but Pins has been like it's jumping now, and it's open till 2.
Yep.
And
Good for them.
it's like, I mean, yeah, like being in Southside Works, it's like a great time because it's like that place is
Yep.
there, and it's like you can go out in Southside Works now. It's awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was at Pins. I was actually at Pins on Saturday night. Not for very long, but
It's a new Hinge Day spot.
Is
I was
it?
gonna, well, I was
You
gonna,
heard it here,
yeah.
ladies.
Have you been on any Hinge dates?
Recently, no, not really. I mean, it's a weird time to do that. Not because just because I'm like leaving to
Yeah.
go across the ocean soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is tough.
It is the app meant to be deleted. That's what the commercials
That's
tell
the thing,
me. So.
and I haven't deleted it. I have changed my location to Portugal though.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I was just
Okay.
curious. I was curious. I was just like, because you can do that. You can't do that on the other apps. And like, Tinder and Bumble are dead, but like, you can just kind of move it. You could take it wherever you want. Like, you could set your shit in Antarctica if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know what would show up, but
Well, see, this is all news to us because we're
right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just
I'm engaged. I'm
no,
we're
yeah.
retired
I'm
from the game.
I'm just I'm like,
You're the one still going to Tequila Cowboy.
Deuce Bigelow.
yeah, I'm like the man on the inside. I'm like the Jane Goodall. Like, I'm the anthropologist. Like, I've got the scoop. I got the scoop on what's going on.
All right.
I should write a book. But no, Hinge is, it is what it is. But it's different. I've noticed there's a lot of people from other countries in Portugal. What I've noticed, it's like there's like
Diverse.
there's girls
of
from,
transplants.
there's American girls like living in Portugal. Like there's like soccer players, like girls that played like college here, they're playing pro there. Like there's like girls playing pro basketball in Portugal. Like it's interesting. Like
Brittany Griner.
Well, listen, if you get a Hinge date in Portugal, we talked about it at the Hounds game. We have to be there to
That's
coach
true. You
you.
guys gotta
So
come
if
out.
you fly
Yeah.
you fly us out,
that's a business expense.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
at a minimum, you've got to wear like a like we got to strap a selfie stick to you, and
Yeah.
we're on.
Oh, I'm gonna
FaceTime
have
with you,
one.
like on the day.
I've got one, dude. I've got this thing. It's called you know what a gimbal is?
yes.
So I got one of those now. It's like
All
it's
right.
so sweet. It like follows you around and
We're in.
everything. Like yeah, I've got content plans for Portugal. That's not not relative to the Hinge thing, but I mean it also could play a part. Who knows?
Right, but hey, you know where Will's never gonna set his location to?
Philly.
Philadelphia.
Yep, that's
Suck
right.
it, Philly.
That's
Right.
right.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
All right, boys. This was another good one. Yes.
I feel like we flew
always
through that.
enjoy
That
my
went so
time,
fast,
man.
man. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like that was a quick one.
It was it felt like a quick one. I don't know, but
Yeah, but
I mean,
we got the point across.
Yeah,
we got the point
short and
across.
sweet.
Fuck Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing,
Fuck
you should
Philly.
be efficient.
Yeah.
Exactly. Following that Marshall Fitness mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hell yeah.
That's right. Ben, you have anything else for Will or the people?
I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah.
I love that we've continued to be partners and friends. And again, Philly, I hate you. That's about it.
Yep.
You?
Will, thanks for coming back on.
for having
Don't forget about us in Portugal.
No, I won't.
Yeah. And keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate you coming on this ride with us. I think that's all I got, so we'll wrap it up. This has been The Vault, weekly show from Thoughts to the Bench. Oh, I thought you were about to give me the... Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. You do sign off.
Oh,
Shine
okay.
off.
I guess
sign off.
I gotta tell them where to find me, right?
Right.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, shit. That's my bad. I'm so used to having you on, so...
No, it's.
All
I mean,
right,
they
so-
know me
Yeah.
by now, but.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, you
yeah.
want me to do it? So yeah. So Marshall Fitness website is. I got a new URL now. It's no longer marshallfitness.shop. Now it's marshallfitnesstraining.com. I got the
Okay.
.com.
Okay. He's
Okay.
Official.
There we go.
official.
Finally
There we
got
go.
a .com. Now it's legit. So marshallfitness.com is the website. YouTube at @willmarshall_1. Instagram at @willmarshall_1. And then Facebook, I would just search my name, but don't go there first anyway. Go to Instagram or the website for sure.
Cool.
And YouTube's gonna be it's taking off. It's moving. So I would be on the lookout for that for
And
sure.
if you're gonna DM him, be professional.
That's right.
Absolutely be
That's right.
professional. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace.